Patrice,
Yes.
what are the different places to contact for sync?
Okay. When I kind of think about like a pyramid, I guess, you could think about when I'm like, okay, I would have this music, I want to start to reach out to people in these shows and film and the trailer world and, you know, gaming world, whatever it may be. You have music supervisors. So one of, not always the responsibility, but they're typically associated with music supervisors, is they do a lot more than this, but they also help in aiding production and finding music for the shows. They're kind of the top tier too, I would say, the most directly attached to that project. And so they can be harder to get in contact with. And so one thing there is, the next thing that you can start to, it's a little maybe easier to approach, it's a little more accessible at times, would be a sync agent. And so you kind of have the music supervisor at the top, and then you have the sync agent, and they typically represent artists, and they'll have a catalog of music, and they will pitch on behalf of the artist. Now, one thing to think about when it comes to compensation, when you bring in other people, like a sync agent, you normally have a contract there. Not normally, you'll always have a contract. And if they don't, then you probably don't want to work with them. It's a business contract. So you have a contract there, and they'll lay out the terms of working with them, what it entails. And when they sign your song, you know, sometimes it will be like, oh, you have like, we're going to hold on to the song for a year or 2 years, and it will renew if we don't hear from you, and we're going to take 50% of the upfront fee and that kind of stuff there. So not to go too far off of that, I can say that for another time. But you have a sync agent, and it's nice with them because you typically have more of a direct relationship with them, and they know you, and there's that personal relationship. And so that's kind of nice because you know you're not just kind of like giving music, which kind of leads me to the other way that you can do, 3 basic ways that you can do. And that would be a music library. And so there's people working for that library. They have typically bigger catalogs, not always, but they'll have a big catalog of music, and they'll work with shows, different places there, and people can go on there and get their music, or they can pitch their playlist or whatever it may be there. Typically don't have, again, it's going to be a contract. You want to go through that there, and but typically, like with my music libraries that I'm a part of, I like know the names from them signing multiple songs and stuff, and I you know, can go on their site and learn more. But like with the sync agents is really where I have more of a relationship. Like I know these people to more of an extent. So but both have like worked for me, and I like all of them in general. I don't think you should necessarily, you know, just go for one or the other. Especially as you're beginning, you might try different songs with different people just to see what they can do. Because there is exclusive deals and there's non-exclusive deals. And so that being said, if you sign a song exclusively to someone, and say you sign your whole catalog, say you sign 12 songs, 15 songs, whatever it may be, you're banking on that one individual, because when you have exclusive rights, no one else has the rights to pitch that song, is what you're signing to them. And you're banking on them to do the work for you. And if they don't really have a lot of action, or they're not very active in that world or creating the relationships, it becomes harder. So went off a little bit there, but I think you hopefully appreciate that. But those are kind of the 3 basic ones. Music supervisor, you have the sync agent, and you have the music libraries.